It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
You're now rocking with the best. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am the architect himself, Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, Sharia Thomas, Diamond Love, Sheriff Fat Muhammad. We are the Beat Break Morning crew. Follow us on all your social media at Beat Break Radio. We got some special guests in the studio this morning, back by popular demand.
Whatever.
Back by popular. No, I just felt that it was right to bring this guy back on the show because we're in a new studio. We're in a very new environment.
It's much nicer.
Much nicer. Customer service is much nicer too.
It is very nice.
Yeah. And they got AC.
Yeah, last time it was in like the YMCA.
Yeah, comedian Darnell Morris is in the studio.
Thank you, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Just out here chilling and out here being funny.
Yeah. Being funny, making that money.
Well, let's just say being funny. You know, comedy's very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And I mean, still, I perform 4 nights a week now, 4 to 5 nights a week. But, you know, 3 of those performances is just open mics, practicing. But I got a big show coming up.
Yes, at the Relapse Theater.
Relapse Theater, February 8th. It's 1 night, 3 shows. We got a 7, we got an 8:30, and we got a 10.
Damn.
I'm headlining and hosting. Miss Wall Street's going to be there. Samson Black, Nima Cat, like all the young upcoming cats that are about to dominate the game. And we have some special guest appearances. Tickets are only $10. There's no 2-drink minimum. There is a bar, so please support the bar.
Of course.
But yeah, man, we're not trying to bore nobody to death. So each show's only about an hour.
Yeah.
And that's it. Let's go have fun. We need y'all's support, though. I need y'all to come. Yeah, I support all of y'all. All of y'all. Need y'all to come out and support me for once. I never asked for nothing.
So I'm bringing my girl and I'm bringing my side chick with me.
Okay.
All this.
Are they gonna be sitting at the same table?
Of course, they better be.
Okay.
We're not doing separately. Not separate tables.
Just let me know if I need to hide the side chick on like the other side of the club. Like, baby, meet me at the bar.
I'll text you. I'll text you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna talk more about that, and plus, also on my right, we have Barjona Andrews.
Hello.
A behavioral therapist?
Yes, I am a board-certified behavior analyst.
She had to say that with so much emphasis.
I worked hard for that.
I ain't mad at you, player.
A BCBA.
Yeah, yeah. And so you got an event coming up, the Autism Family Playdate.
Correct.
It's going down.
Yes.
And it's happening in the same month, February.
Yeah. So it's February 16th.
Okay.
So the play date is something we do quarterly. So this is our first play date of 2019. So it's meant to be an event where family members can bring their kids, and it's all about teaching kids social skills because it's one of the hardest areas for children with autism. Right. So we do it in an environment where not only can the kids learn, but the parents can learn. They receive training, and then they get to know each other. So it's also about building community. So it's at the MLK Recreation and Aquatic Center, which is a beautiful new facility in Atlanta. If you haven't been there, it's always lots of fun. So I definitely want everybody to come out and support. If you know a child with autism, a family affected, please share.
I want to talk a little bit about autism with you because we talked a little bit about it off the air, but some people want to know what are the early stages when you see your child or somebody else's child that is acting unordinary, if you will. Like, you know, there may be signs that he could be, you know, he could have autism. Like, what are the earlier signs?
Well, like we talked about, autism is a developmental disability. So you want to be looking at developmental signs. So if you have a typical child, you know, they walk at a certain age, they talk at a certain age, they laugh, you know, communicate. So if your child is not doing those things in a typical fashion, then they might have autism. But there's 3 categories you pretty much want to look at, which is, you know, your communication skills, your language, can they speak, do they engage in repetitive behaviors? Like, will they sit there and play with the same car for 4 hours? You know, if that's true, your child might have autism. And so social skills, communication, and repetitive behavior. So if you see any combination of those 3 things, and I would like to say, a lot of times people say, well, he talks, so he probably doesn't have autism. That is probably not true. Okay. Just because a child is verbal does not mean they can't have a developmental disability, because they can be talking, but what are they really talking about? You know, can they really engage in conversation?
I have a question. I've noticed in younger children that suffer with autism that their verbal communication, like you said, they may speak, but they do a lot of and like humming. Is that a sign?
It could be
like more than normal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
like just making like random noises. I mean any type of repetitive action. So it could be they make random noises, or sometimes you have kids who script, like they'll be saying Mickey Mouse movies all the time, or repetitive action could be movement, so it could be rocking, so it's all kind of encompassed in the same category. But yeah, you do see some like different type of vocalizations, right? And so sometimes any type of verbal communication is language to me. Okay. So if a child is just moaning, that doesn't mean that he's not trying to communicate something to me. So a lot of times I'm working with the child to try to figure out, okay, what are they trying to say? And then helping them to say it in a way that I can understand and that you can understand. And so that's what we try to help them to access their environment in that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting right there, because I know plenty of people, and it hits home to me because I have a few people in my family that suffers from autism. And I know that it has become widespread to where, it's almost like every other day you see somebody that is suffering with autism or had it since they were a child, Right. But in your line of profession, how many people have you say you came across that you have seen signs of autism? Or
Tons. I mean, definitely more than like when you and I were kids, you know, like I feel like we pretty much, you go to school, you didn't really encounter a lot of kids with autism, but now I know several families who have 1, 2, even 3 children with autism.
Well, is it that we didn't encounter them, or they just got treated a different way? Like they just used to put a helmet on them and throw them in special ed.
Well, I'm
not trying to be funny, but there was that whole classroom.
Coming from somebody who's worked in schools, I would say no, because certain things you can't ignore, or you can't just, like now that's why we're constantly, school districts are creating new classrooms because there's more and more children that they have to service. So they're not hiring autism teachers and trying to train them for no reason. It's more kids. And then not just children who belong in separate classes. There are a lot of children with autism who belong in regular ed too, So we also have to learn how to service them. So I don't try to get into like why, because I don't know, but I do know, I feel like in my opinion, the incidences are, raising higher and higher each year.
Wow.
But don't get me started on my conspiracy theories about why that is.
I know you, and you have a lot of conspiracy theories. You have a whole lot.
They're all really true though.
So that says every conspiracy theorist ever.
But mine are really true though. They are backed up by fact, and my opinion matters. So
right.
I'm always right.
So Darnell, comedy showcase coming up.
Wait, hold on. I have one more question.
You have one more? No, go for it. Go for it, man.
Is there, because this is so interesting to me, because it could happen to anybody. And we all know somebody who suffers from autism on some level or another. Is there any definitive test out yet to prove if somebody has autism, or it's observational?
It's observational, but I mean, there are assessments. So that's why I say you go to a psychologist. Like, I'm not a psychologist, but there are assessments that you can take. I mean, there's not like a blood test. So you could get a conflicting diagnosis. But yeah, there are lots of instruments to measure, different behaviors in your child, different developmental signs to say, okay, yeah, this child is likely on the autism spectrum, or not. Okay. So yeah, that's why you seek out a psychological evaluation, because it gives you lots of information about your child. So again, if anybody is wondering, if you think anything might be wrong, that's where you want to go to your doctor, ask for a referral to a psychologist, and that person can help you, point you in the right direction.
And you want to catch it as early as possible.
Yes, because early intervention is everything. So why would you want to wait? It's easier to teach your child how to talk when they're 4 as opposed to
17.
Yeah, don't do that. And it's cute till they're 10. And it's not cute after that. So
next thing you know, you're Floyd Mayweather and you still can't read.
Right. Don't let your child become R. Kelly, okay? They need
You trying to open up a can of worms
I'm just
early
saying,
already.
maybe if he was literate, okay?
Yeah.
So we just need to, that's what I'm saying. Get your early interventions
Right.
on early so that way you can be proactive, get your child in a place where they can be productive members of society.
Maybe that's why he's with the girls. They were his tutors.
Don't.
The autism family autism family play date is going down on February 16th, and everybody's invited, right?
Everybody. So you can
except
bring
R. Kelly.
No. And if you are like R. Kelly, if you support him, no, I'm not going to get off into R. Kelly, but everybody's invited. Actually, you can bring siblings. All we ask is that you register in advance and that you let us know who you're bringing. Even if you don't have a child who's diagnosed, but you think, okay, I just want to get some help, or I just want to know more about autism, you still can come out. It's a beautiful facility and it's a welcoming environment.
Is there a charge?
No, it's free to the public.
That's why everybody can come.
Yeah.
Everybody can come.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I also have a heart for service. So I've always liked to do, a lot of things about parenting is hard. We was just talking about that. And it's difficult. And it's expensive. And I just want to offer something that's not difficult for people to access and not expensive, and that's an enjoyable and fun experience. So that's our goal. So we do take donations. I'm not a nonprofit, but I have a nonprofit sponsor.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So we do take donations to support the events.
Nice. So what I want to do is I want to revisit the Autism Family Play Date a little bit later on in the podcast for those who are just tuning in to the Beat Break Morning Show. We got special guest Darnell Morris, comedian and behavioral therapist, Barjona Andrews in the building now. Your comedy event, your comedy showcase is going to be off the chain, and it's going to be a lot of jokes. Everybody's going to get it.
It's going to be inappropriate. I'm just going to throw that. I'm telling you right now. It's 21 and up.
This is not a play date. Now, this is not a play
date.
Just
do not bring your kids to this. I promise you. But yeah, man, I've been having so much fun out here, just hitting clubs night after night.
Right.
And you've been to one of my shows before.
Yeah.
And just to see the growth from then till now, and it's just like anything else, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. And it wasn't until I started to meet famous comedians like Michael Collier. And he said to me, if you really want to do this comedy thing, then you need to be out performing 3 nights a week. That changed the whole landscape of how I work now.
Right.
And it changed the confidence levels of when I'm on stage. Right now, I'm better than ever. Nima Cat, she's better than ever. Miss Wall Street is a seasoned veteran, so she's going to come out and crush it.
Yeah.
Samson Black, this is a white guy.
Wait. There's a white comedian named Samson Black?
That's his real name.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought Gary Owen was the only white black comedian that was out there, but it's I don't know.
No, he's as white as they come.
Okay. He just happens his last name
happens to be black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he's only been in the game for about 8 months now.
Okay.
But as we're doing the open mic circuit, we pretty much run in the same circle. So we see each other. Mm-hmm. And from the first time I saw him, he said, he's super funny. That's the guy I want on my show. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be something so unexpected. But when he comes out on that stage, you're going to be like, what did he just say? I just saw him perform at Hole in the Wall. He's getting better and better by the second. Mm-hmm. And we have a few special guests. Surprise guests, I should say.
Surprise guests.
Yes.
Okay. Is Cat Williams going to jump out?
Nah. He can't come back to Atlanta. Wanda Smith's husband will find him. Whoa. Plus, she's unemployed now. She's gonna run up on him.
Wow. Speaking of which, man, because we live in a time right now where everybody, or for the most part, most people are very sensitive. We live in what is called the sensitivity era, and comedians from Kevin Hart to who else caught it? It's been so many. It's been so many comedians that caught it.
There was somebody else too, definitely.
George Lopez, just to name a few. It's like if you say something on social media as a comic, you say something on social media, but it's supposed to be a joke, and somebody sees it or somebody hears it and be like, "Hey, that was offensive," how do you take that as a comedian if somebody comes up to you or heard you say something that may be offensive to them?
I say don't come to the next show. Because while it's very weird because we're in that age of sensitivity,
right?
Okay, But that kind of all went out the window when Donald Trump got elected. So if you have your president out there saying grab him by the, the Mexicans and murderers and rapists, don't come to a comedian and then try and adjust my language, and I'm telling jokes. He's being serious. That's really how he feels. So, I mean, my material is my material. Is some of it offensive? Yeah. And I think that people can get away with offensive things as long as it's funny. If you're being offensive just to be offensive, like when Michael Richards came out and he said the N-word 85 times just because the show wasn't going his way. You can't come back from that. That's not funny. I don't think Kevin Hart said anything wrong. He said he doesn't want his sons to grow up to be gay. And if you ask 60 to 75% of American males, they would probably say the same thing. There are probably gay males out there that don't want their sons to be gay just because they know what they had to go through. So I don't think what he said was ridiculous. And it was 7 years ago. If you want to cherry pick everything that I did from 7 years ago, you ain't even got to go that far in my history. I'll be apologizing from here till 2026. So, I mean, I just go out there and just give it to you however way it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not too long ago, we had Lunel on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Okay.
And she feels a certain type of way about what is called social media comics. She's been in the game long time.
Yeah. I know Lunel.
Absolutely. Funny as hell. But now it seems like the ones that are on social media, the comics that are being discovered on social media, it seems like they getting bigger opportunities than Lunel.
See, because what happens is you have a wider base. Mm-hmm. If I put something out on social media, then I have an opportunity. Let's say I have 5,000 Facebook friends, okay? As opposed to going to a club that holds 150 people. So you're going to grow quicker if you're funny. My problem with that is, I'm not an Instagram comedian. I might say some funny stuff every now and again, but I try to stay away from that. Because if you start off on Instagram, if you start off on Facebook as a comedian, it doesn't necessarily translate to on the stage. So a lot of these Instagram comedians, they'll do that, get 200,000 followers, feel real bold, go out on stage, and it's completely different, different environment. Instagram. Secondly, and one of the things is with the Instagram videos, that's easy to me. You got time to record and edit. You're on stage. You don't have time to do any of that. Whatever you do, you better bounce back, and it's instant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shout out to them. I'm not hating on nobody's hustle. Look, I love Jess Hilarious. That's how she got big. I haven't really seen her on stage, though.
I've seen Tiffany Haddish more on stage than Jess.
Yeah, Tiffany but Tiffany was an on-stage comedian before anything. She's been in the game, people don't realize this, for about 15 years. She was running with Kevin Hart when they were both nobody. She was sleeping in her car. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit after Steve Harvey just started to pop.
So why do you think people hate on Tiffany Haddish?
Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Oh, she's not that funny. And it's so unfair because, granted, I do think more often than not, female comedians are harder to find funny. We do have some heavy hitters out there, the Wanda Sykes, the Moniques, Tiffany Haddish. But once you get to a certain level, it depends what side of the game you're on, because if you're a comedian and you've been doing this longer than she has, you kind of feel like, well, it should have been my turn. But that's not your call to make. You know what I'm saying? So I can't hate on the next person. And, she just blew up so big so quickly. And that's all you see in America. I've always had this smile in America. You only see the gold. You don't see the work. We see Michael Phelps. What's he got? 25, 50 gold medals? Mm-hmm. But we didn't see the thousands of hours that he put in practice and swim in a pool. So it seems like, oh, why is she doing this? Why are they shoving her down our throat? Now she's in every movie. But it's like, bro, if you spent as much time complaining as you did working, you could do it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing that Marlon Wayans said on The Breakfast Club. Instead of black comedians going at each other, just pick up the phone and call them and just talk to them and just say, hey, here's a way on how you can do it better, or let me give you some advice, let me give you some tips. Because I think what we do so much on social media is talk down on each other, and we just don't pick up the phone and say, yo, let's do something together. Let's work something out. Whatever issue you got with me, let's meet in person. Let's squash it. Yeah. But they just take it to social media. And
when Tiffany Haddish bombed on New Year's.
I was just going to ask you that. All right.
And, everybody was giving her hell. Now,
I think it was, I know what you're about to say. Like, David Spade, and I find him to be funny outside of the urban comedy community. He said that, hey, we all been there. She's going to be fine. But you have a comedian like Pierre who made a video saying, yo, Tiffany Haddish is garbage. Like, we need to tell her, hey, look, you ain't funny. You need somebody to write for you. You need somebody to write jokes for you.
And I'm friends with Paul Mooney's kids. And they were on social media. They were on Facebook. We can't give her a pass. I was like, why are we so quick to tear each other down?
Yeah.
I was like, everybody's had a bad show. Everybody. I forget where I was at on Sunday. And I was trash. Like, I'm telling you right now, you don't have to ask and find out. But that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's about to bounce back. She's going to be fine. I just saw her. She's on a flight to London. She's about to go do some shows over there. Right. She'll be just fine. But you have to allow people a chance. Because otherwise, then the premise would be they have to be perfect all the time. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any perfect people. Like, we all make mistakes. It's not always our best day.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and tear nobody down over a bad show.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like that one we did a few months ago at the other studio.
The Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. The only morning show where you can wake up next to more than just one woman. It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
The Beat Break Morning Show, Darnell Morris, Barjona Andrews in the studio with yours truly, Sean Garvey. Let's go to the check-in real quick and see who is checking in via Facebook as well as on Instagram. Shout-outs to Robert Patillo, your boy.
What up, Rob?
He says that you look like a homeless drug dealer.
First of all, I look like a vegan crackhead, okay?
Now, why would a crackhead need to be vegan? Now,
I never even heard that.
Because I care about my health.
A vegan crackhead. Well, no, big shout out to Robert Patillo, man. And also big shout outs to Diggy Baldwin 43 on the check-in. Diggy Baldwin 43. So make sure you check us out via Facebook and on Instagram at Beat Break Radio. So much is happening right now. President Trump and the government shutdown. Government employees can now get their paychecks up until February 15th.
Wow.
The day after Valentine's Day.
What is that about? You should have cut that off on the 13th. you know I ain't got it. But that's why I love my city, because New York is so gangster, and that's why the whole shutdown stopped. Because all them air traffic controllers at LaGuardia said, I'm not working for free, and walked out.
Really? I didn't know why.
Yeah, and that was one of the biggest airports, and then they did it in Chicago, and then they did one of other places.
I'm glad they decided to do that.
Yeah,
though.
and somebody probably sat down with Donald. Seriously. What are you going to do when planes start falling out of the sky?
Right. We need these. We need the airports.
Yeah. And then the head of TSA said, we don't even have engineers to check on the planes. What? I had just booked a ticket. I said, refund. Wow. I'm not flying.
I don't know. Then as soon as the government opened back up, then they shut down for this fake snow day. I'm like, I know it's a different government, but It's just like, it seems like it's supposed to be an important entity, but I don't know. It's like they don't take it seriously.
If you don't want to work, just don't work.
Right. But I think, my friend was telling me, some government employees, they want to be at work. They just got back to work.
That's because they want the check.
Right. Or, if you got a job to do.
Nobody really wants to work.
But it might put you behind. If you work at the IRS, you come in, you got a stack of papers this high, because you had to take a month off. I don't know. It's just, that's y'all president.
And that's another aspect, that IRS. People was like, now you affecting your base, the poorest people in this country who rely on that check.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole thing, when you look at how much taxes, the federal government takes out of your check, they should not be allowed to shut down. Y'all were closed for 30 days. That's
So do we
large
get a
portion. Yeah, do I get a
refund?
portion of my federal income tax back? Because I'm sending y'all a good little chunk of my money. Like every time I start looking, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's all equaling out. I'm not getting no health care.
Right. Somebody on
What do
Instagram,
I get for my money?
Somebody on Instagram said it best. They said, "So let me get this straight. We have our tax refunds are going to be delayed, but on my paycheck, somehow the IRS is still open enough to take taxes out."
Yeah,
Right.
they're open enough to get their money.
Yeah, just
not
not
open enough to return any. Yeah, I mean that's.
I know
That's
one
Trump's
thing: y'all better
America.
file your taxes before the 15th.
Yeah.
Unless you owe.
But I mean,
Oh,
At
yeah,
which
take your
point,
time.
wait
Then
until
take your
April.
time.
Right. Just
But-
let it go.
But I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I'm convinced that because of this government shutdown, I am fully convinced that this could be Donald Trump's one term as president. Because my whole thing is this, like the sex scandal with the porn star and the kids with the detention, and
PP Gate.
yeah, and all things considered bad
So
under the umbrella of Trump, right? I was like, they never going to impeach him. There's a potential that he's going to get a second term. But when you mess with people's money, come on now, bro.
But his base, they still love him. Some people supported him shutting down the government. I didn't, but some people think that things like this is what's going to get him reelected because he's showing he's willing to go further than everybody else. Now, granted,
He has done nothing he said he was going to do.
But he
in
shut
their
down.
opinion, I think they think he is doing what he said he's doing.
But he's putting a border wall before people. How
Right,
can
right.
you make America great again and you put a border wall before people? I'm not worried about
A wall.
illegal citizens coming.
I'm-
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my paycheck.
right,
I
about my
love
health
this
insurance.
business.
I love the Mexicans.
Me too.
They will repair your wall and paint your house for about $200.
Dog.
Come on over.
Right, that's what I was telling my friend. I don't even know any unemployed Mexicans. Mexicans
Work.
okay?
Yeah.
like they come over here
And
to
they
work
not-
and contribute to society. So
And they're not stealing jobs. I don't want that job.
right,
But I do think he's going to be a 2-term president.
You think so? He's going to be a 2-term.
I think so because
Just
the Democrats, like, they don't even have a viable candidate yet.
but have y'all watched Michael Moore's documentary Fahrenheit 11/9?
9/11.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's 11/9.
Oh no, I
It's
haven't seen
11/9.
Yeah.
a new
So
one.
yeah, it talks
Okay.
about the rise of Trump and how he came to be to power and just America in general. And like he could be a 2-term president, but it makes a lot of comparisons with him and Hitler. And just how people support him blindly and how our country is just going in a route where no matter what he does, they still continue to support him. So I don't know. I feel like he could be a 2-term president.
I don't know.
too.
I don't
And they
know.
talk about how the Democrats basically always try to lose. Like, I think it's a good documentary to watch.
I think they're, you know what, and I think that honestly, I think the Dems might be trying to do that with this one because honestly, like, when's the next election? 2020?
Who they gonna?
Who are you going to put up? You have to start your campaign from now.
But they basically tried to lose the last one because it showed how Bernie was basically winning all the primaries,
Yeah.
but they were just like going around him and saying no, Hillary's going to be our candidate. So then you isolated your whole base because we was voting for Bernie. They was just pushing Hillary, and then people didn't like her. So I don't know, but it talks about how they're not really in it to win it, basically, because it all works for corporations, not for us. So it's a good documentary.
And Hillary, please don't run for anything ever again.
Ever.
Signed black
Never.
people.
Not everyone.
Yeah, thanks,
That's why
management.
she was everything. The Secretary of State, first, it's too much. Like we were done with her, but I would have took her over Trump. I would have
Yeah.
took anybody over Trump.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary, don't run again. I mean, even local here in Atlanta, Mary Norwood, don't run again. You tried
No.
several times. Don't Mary Norwood. Just
So do you
sit down.
think
Just
Stacey
don't.
Abrams should run again.
I think she should.
I think she should. Yeah,
I think she
'cause
should.
That
yeah.
was really close. That was really close
Yeah.
for Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna keep stealing the elections, though, that here
Well,
I
you
go
know,
my
that's
conspiracy theories.
Well, that's never going to stop.
Yeah,
that's
it's never gonna stop.
and that's an unfortunate reality. But
Yeah.
I think Stacey Abrams should run again. I was surprised that it was that close because I didn't think she would make it that far.
Really?
Yeah, but she put in the time and the
She
work.
was an inspiring candidate.
But there's no way they were going to let us have Keisha and
I
there
know
was no
because I
way.
was like ready. I was like, if my mayor is black, a black woman, and my governor, like, y'all not finna be able to tell me nothing.
It'd be so many people. It'd be so many Darnells here in the state of Georgia. Like, it's just facts.
There would be so many chicken spots opening up. Woo, baby.
Right. That's what we need for the people.
Yeah. All right, man. So outside of the government shutdown, a lot of people are still talking about surviving R. Kelly. And I know Robert, who is still listening and watching us via Facebook Live, he thinks that he said, talk about R. Kelly getting framed. Am I reading this right?
What did he get framed for? Tell us what
talk about R. Kelly getting framed.
What did he get framed for?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah,
because
fame for his success. Are you talking about that? Fame for his success.
Yeah, no, I can't see him getting framed.
It wasn't him in the video. That's what,
is that what we're talking about?
Is that what we're talking? That's.
But he still married Aaliyah. What was it, Aaliyah? When she was like
15.
Okay, but y'all, he married her when she was 15. When he met her, she was 12. Okay, so that is a small child.
But 15 doesn't make it better.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. He liked little 12-year-olds and little 13-year-olds, and now the more popular it became that he was a child molester, he just started getting girls a little older, 17, 18, you know. But they're still kids.
That's fine.
But even then, I mean, y'all, I want everybody to just say, why do we have to keep supporting R. Kelly? That's what I don't get. What's the big debate? Because his music was
so dope.
He has hits.
And there's so many people with hits, though. I mean, we're black. Everybody has hits. He's a musical
genius.
Okay, he had some good hits, but he also had like Trapped in the Closet. I mean,
that was good too.
No, it wasn't. It was just okay.
Trapped in the Closet, though. Can you mute Trapped in the Closet? I mean, really.
So y'all can't even do without Trapped in the Closet?
It was.
Wow.
You can't let that Trapped in the Closet thing go.
So if it was your little girl, would you do without Trapped in the Closet then? If he had raped your child, would you still be like, I gotta listen to Step in the Name of Love, or would you just let it go?
No. First of all of Atlanta would be on fire. Like, I'm not playing around. But
as long as it's somebody else's daughter, we can keep excusing it and letting it go.
When you put it like that,
well,
but come on, Step in the Name of Love. That joint came on right now. I'd be dancing.
I mean,
I wouldn't. Like, I'm telling you, when I hear his voice, I'd be like, wait, is this R. Kelly? No, please turn this off.
You're ruining my whole mood. Where was it? In Chicago?
Stop.
All his concerts in Chicago.
I saw him in a club. I mean, he was in a club.
They were going crazy for him.
I mean, first of all, women, stop. If you are in a club yelling for R. Kelly, please kill yourself immediately because, like, what are you doing? Like, why? He's a child molester. I just don't see why we can't do without him. We have plenty of other artists. He has a history of being, and then if this man would ever take any responsibility, ever say, I actually might have done something that was wrong, maybe one thing that was inappropriate.
He had a 19-minute song called I Admit. So it was some things that he admitted to, but not the whole sex molestation thing.
I didn't listen to the 19-minute song because I don't give a fuck what he
I don't have 19 minutes, first of all.
Right. I don't have 19 minutes for R. Kelly. No. I mean, maybe about 19 seconds, but I think if y'all watch the documentary, y'all will. I mean, you said you watched
I watched the beginning.
But a lot of people watch it. I just want people to stop shaming the victims. And then I just feel like this. What is a black woman supposed to do? What are we supposed to do?
Wait,
y'all, our music, all we are is bitches and hoes in the music. We like all we are on the videos is shaking our ass. Then R. Kelly's out here raping little girls. Nobody cares. What is a black woman supposed to do?
Well, before we get into that, do you guys remember it was like a R. Kelly interview? This was going back maybe a decade ago on like 60 Minutes or CBS, where the guy's interviewing them, and he asked him about the little girls.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He said, "Do you still sleep with underage girls?"
Yeah.
And R. Kelly said. Long pause. Well, what are we considering underage? Yeah, I said.
He said like 19.
No, the guy said like preteen. He said, so you mean like 15 and 14? And the host was like, this guy's really out of his mind. Like, this is something people are getting mad at now, but it's something that we've known. We've known this. And to women being bitches and hoes in videos. I kind of feel two ways about that, and I always have, because like you have an option not to be.
But do you really?
Erykah Badu wasn't. Lauryn Hill
She out
wasn't.
here defending R. Kelly, so.
But I mean, You know what I'm saying? It's an outlet to easier money, and I think that I'm not blaming either side, but I think that goes back to the way you were raised. You know what I'm saying? Show your daughter the value. Like, I have 2 little girls. I'm going to show you the value as a woman.
Yeah.
So,
but I just feel like when we pretend that our children live in these separate homes that aren't affected by the homes right next to them, like we're a community. You're not raising your child alone. The black community is raising your child. America is raising your child. Instagram is raising your child. So it's not just you. All these social influences are going to affect who your child becomes. So I just feel like as black women, it's kind of difficult right now. Not kind of. I mean, I understand black males have their struggle, but as a black woman, I support black men in their struggles. I'm against mass incarceration. If we having a march, sign me up. I'm ready. Let's go. But when it comes to the plight of the black female and the black mother, I don't see that same support from our community as a whole. I just don't see that. And I feel like the R. Kelly thing really highlighted that for me because, like you said, why haven't we been mad? I've been mad about R. Kelly. I've been like, why are we supporting him? He's odd. He's thrown off. He needs help. He's sick. How is he ever going to get any help if we just keep throwing money at him and going to his concert? We love you, R, but R. Kelly needs to go to a hospital and seek support for his illness, because he's got issues.
And I like that. Let's call it a mental illness, okay? We need to start doing it in the black community instead of...
He was molested as a child. How many black people were molested as a child who did not talk about it? How many people are being molested by their pastors and their uncles right now that are not talking about it, and their parents are stepping in the name of love and supporting R. Kelly?
I wouldn't even let my kids stay with my mama. No.
Right. Real talk though. Like you can't trust anybody.
I'm kidding, Mom. But
I'm not kidding,
really,
Mom.
Really not.
I'm not.
I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Like, no, you really can't trust.
Well, next thing I know, she got the weed man over there. I'm like, wait a minute.
But I mean, would I be wrong though for listening to R. Kelly but not supporting him? Because when you talk about support, you're talking about going to his concerts, buying his CDs, so forth and so forth. And it would get really bad if YouTube start taking all of his videos down.
Why? What would be so horrible? The world would be okay.
It'd be bad for R. Kelly. It'd be really, really bad if YouTube starts taking down all of his videos because Spotify cut all of his music.
Really?
Right.
And that's why I'm mad that Tidal won't cut his music. I don't know why.
Well, let's see who's in control of Tidal over there. Right?
I know. Yeah, I got questions about that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to listen, I feel like
what if you already own the CD? Like you bought it 10 years ago.
Let it go. You got other CDs.
Basically, throw in the trash can. Just go
and you're not. But if you streaming, you still supporting. That's what the headlines are about. Oh, all his streaming went up after the documentary came. Yeah, like why are you streaming?
What if you just steal the CD out of the store? You're not really supporting.
Yeah, that's helpful. Just take the CD.
Y'all love. I guess people love R. Kelly. They can't let it go.
Listen, I can't let go of Mike Jack either.
Really?
Michael Jackson.
I pretty much. Maybe I'm judgmental. I like even Kanye. I'll still listen to Kanye, but I have pretty much let him go. I'm not a Future fan. I like retro Kanye.
Well, everybody let Kanye go because his music is trash.
But so y'all can let Kanye go, but y'all can't let R. Kelly go.
I let the new Kanye go. I let the new Kanye go.
Yeah, the old Kanye.
The old Kanye. Hits. I'm still rocking with the old Kanye.
Yeah.
So can you let new R. Kelly go? If R. Kelly come out with anything new, y'all just gonna do it? Y'all not gonna listen?
Nah, because I really believe that if he puts out some new stuff, it's gonna be trash. Just like I admit.
That depends. Is it going to be Step in the Name of Love Part 5? Because I might have to hear a snippet. I'm not going to hold you up.
The Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. The only morning show where you can wake up next to more than just one woman. It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
Oh man, the Beat Break Morning Show. Sean Garvey, Barjona Andrews, and comedian Darnell Morris in the studio. All right, so we're running a little bit out of time. Thank you all so much for tuning in and checking us out via Facebook and Instagram. Shout outs to Nikki, right on time for joining with us. If you got any comments, share them at Beat Break Radio. Black Panther, the biggest box office movie of all time. getting some Oscar nominations, of course. But surprisingly, there's no Best Actor or no Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor or Best Supporting Actress from Black Panther.
Well, but that's going to be hard in a superhero movie in general. But what's his name? The main guy.
Chadwick Boseman.
He did a fantastic job. Fantastic.
I thought you were talking about, what's the other one's name?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Now he did a fantastic job.
So you going somewhere else.
I think they should definitely bring him back for the sequel. But
and that whole cast of women, especially his sister, like they they really stole the show. Mm-hmm. They were amazing. But you know, who cares? Like, I don't even care about these awards anymore. They get so racist so often. Yeah. Oscar's been racist.
I think they're having more black films nominated this year than ever before. It's not just only Black Panther. It's also Black Klansman, Spike Lee joint, The Green Book, and it's another movie too. If Beale Street Could Talk,
I haven't
something like that. Yeah,
I mean that's cool, but I mean, isn't it about time? Like, we've been making great films, and I mean, how many years in the past? Just in the past 5 years. Are there no black films until there's an uproar? And then all of a sudden, oh my God, you know what? That was pretty good. Let's throw them in there. So after Oscars, it's my black ass.
You said after Oscars. What do you say?
I mean, I say
you better mute them Oscars.
I say black people should try to work hard to have their own institutions and their own awards and congratulate themselves and stop begging white people to do it.
Waiting for the white man to acknowledge you.
Yeah, because they're going to do what they want to do anyway. I mean, that's not going to change. And then you incorporate yourself into their culture, and then they start stealing all your stuff. So I think that it's better to just, I mean, you can be inclusive, but also support your own. Have your own.
I just think they do that because it's easier financially. Because white people in Hollywood, they've been doing this. The Harvey Weinstein, where this rapist is, nobody knows now.
Right.
So it's easier to get under that umbrella. But once you get under that umbrella and you make your money, get out.
Yeah.
And then go do your own thing.
Go do your own thing. But people be scared to do it without that umbrella. So
give me $20 million. Watch what I do with it.
Okay.
Well, why do you think, the Oscars is celebrated more? Because we do have our own awards. We have the NAACP awards, the Trumpet Awards, and the 365 Black Awards. We got all these award shows, but we give so much recognition to the Oscars, to the Academy Awards, than our own base.
Well, we do that with everything. I mean, we move to white neighborhoods because their neighborhoods are better than ours. We go to, I mean, we do that with everything.
I'm the only black person that lives in my complex.
Right. Kanye said I moved into a neighborhood where I'm the only black guy. So that's really, at the end of the day, is our goal is to get like them. You know,
they call the police on me 3 or 4 times a week.
But I'm the only black guy, right?
They know me. They be like, there goes Token. Token.
Right. But why not take that money and build a home in your own community and keep all your resources? Not saying that you have to be racist or separatist, but what I'm saying is it would help benefit your community. So when it comes to like the Oscars and all that stuff, it's good to support it. But if we lend it, maybe we could just lend more support to, like you said, the NAACP awards. And then, of course, we live in a popular society. It's more white people than it is black people. But if we supported each other more, I think it's about changing our mentality.
We don't need them at all.
Yeah.
Like, we $3 trillion. We make like $3 trillion in sales every year, the black community. We really don't need them for anything.
Now, my dad used to always say that he felt the black community was better off before integration. He used to say that all the time. He was always like, you couldn't buy a loaf of bread from a black man after integration. Because he was born in the 30s, so he knew the difference. But he wasn't racist. He just felt like you didn't have any choice but to, everybody in your community was black. Your doctor was black. You went to the black store, So in that way,
kept circulating around your community, and that's where wealth gets. That's what the Jews do.
That's what we do the exact opposite. We get our first check. We move into Massa neighborhood. We go straight out of, and we shop at all their stores. I mean, that's just.
In my defense, I moved straight into Massa's neighborhood.
It's okay. No judgment. You got to live. So
you know when I realized it was crazy where I lived? I was taking a walk down to our activity center. It's a pool hall, shuffleboard. Upstairs is the fitness center. Down the block is a dog park. Then I went around the corner and there was a dog spa. And then a yoga park. I said, I'm living way beyond my means.
Wow.
And I like, because you know what, I can't talk. I mean, I live, I guess it's a black community. I live in a city, so it's gentrifying. But I mean, I go to yoga. I'm frequently in all white.
Like it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't mind, you know.
So I moved to the West End. Next thing I know, I'm at Planet Fitness. Like, I can't.
See, I live near the West End. It's the best. I love the West Side. I would encourage everybody to come over to the West Side. We have places available.
Okay. If I go bankrupt, I'll be over there.
But you know what? Like, that's the thing about gentrification. Like, we talked about the mentality. In 2 years, all your black friends going to be wanting to get a house over there. But that will be after white people have already come in, bought up all the homes, and driven up the property value to where you can't afford to stay there anymore.
I'm actually kidding. I'm looking for a house in the West End. Because that rent, it becomes to a point where it doesn't make sense. Like, my rent is like $1,800 to live in Lindbergh. I was like,
you live in Lindbergh?
Yeah. But I said, do you know what an $1,800 mortgage would look like?
Yeah. You have a, yeah, you can
live in a mansion.
Damn.
Atlanta rent, they are charging for these.
Yes.
They built a Kroger across the street. Oh, there goes the rent. I was like, you don't even go to Kroger. Come on, baby, get your bathing suit on. We'll go into one of our 2 pools.
Well, that's nice. At least you got nice amenities. Now,
Man.
you paying for it, though.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, we paid for the location because when we initially came down here, we didn't have a car. So we're right behind the MARA station. Yeah.
But that's convenient, though. I mean, I will pay for a good location. I like to be in the city. I don't want to be too far outside.
Yeah, plus, I have 6 strip clubs in the radius of a mile and a half.
Nice.
See, there you go.
Right there.
4 spas that are open 24 hours. You know, and while we're sitting here talking about muting R. Kelly, let's mute the government in Atlanta. Because they keep claiming we're trying to cut down on sex trafficking. I can't drive a block without seeing another 24-hour massage parlor.
Wow.
What do you think are happening? Like, when's the last time you got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, you know what I could really use? A good thigh rub. Like, like, come on, dog. We already know what's going on there. Y'all are raping more women than R. Kelly ever will.
That's true.
Facts.
That is true.
Facts. Wow.
Yeah, and they're not trying to do anything about that either, so they probably won't ever do anything about R. Kelly.
There's one that just opened up across the street from my house, right by Gold Room.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to be over there in a minute. What time is the show?
The show is wrapping up. The show is wrapping up. Well, we really appreciate you guys for coming on the Beat Break Morning Show, especially you once again for coming on the Beat Break Morning Show. And we're definitely going to come out. We're definitely going to come out to your show.
February 8th, man. Come out. Relapse Theater, 380 14th Street Northwest.
Yeah.
Tickets are $10. 3 shows. There's a 7 at 8:30 at 10.
Yep.
Miss Wall Street. Samson Black, the white guy. Special guest, Nima Cat, and myself, yours truly, Darnell Morris. Yo, come and support the kid, since we're talking about black support.
Yeah, and it's a pre-Valentine's date. Sure,
it's going to be a cheap one. She's going to be pretty upset with you. Yeah, she's going to be pretty upset with you, but okay.
Yeah. And a surprise comedian.
And there will be surprise comedians, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we will have some strippers in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute.
And some cocaine.
I'm sorry. We just came out of a conversation about R. Kelly and sex trafficking.
I didn't drag them there and make them strippers. Like they would show up like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Sean.
And you, Barjona, the Autism Family Play Date is going down February 16th from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Where can people get more information?
You can visit my website at www.autismcomplete.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or even on Pinterest. It's all Autism Complete. So if you want more information about services that we offer, about the Playdate itself, please visit the website.
And it's going to take place at the MLK Recreation and Aquatic Center.
Yes,
yeah.
It's off Hilliard Street, not too far off Auburn. It's a beautiful facility. Just built it last October. So it's very, very nice.
Okay, and the address?
110 Hilliard Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30312.
Yeah, and that's Southeast Atlanta.
Yes, that is Southeast. Atlanta. And it's important to put Southeast. Your navigation will take you somewhere else. So please make sure you're coming to Southeast.
All right. And where can people follow you at on social media?
I'm on Pornhub. .com/
And this is what you're going to get on February 8th.
Easiest way is Darnell Morris MBA on Facebook. On everything else, I'm Darneezyfied, DARNEEZYFIED, Darneezyfied.
All right, and you can follow me on all your social media, especially on Twitter and on Instagram at Sean Garvey ATL, and on Facebook at Sean Garvey. I want to thank my special guest, Barjona Andrews, for coming on the Beat Break Morning Show. Special guest to you, Darnell Morris, for stopping by once again. And we definitely got to have you guys come back on the show. And my other special guest, Keith Arthur Bolden, who is going to be on American Soul, BET, the story of Don Cornelius, which I am also in the series as well. That's going to be on BET. Yeah,
You
know,
look at you.
Hey, the pictures are coming out. The pictures are gonna come out on social
Next thing
media.
you know, we gonna be like, hey, you gonna have us back? I'm too big for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Will Smith. You're gonna be like Carlton, and you're gonna be like Hillary.
Right. Don't forget about the little people, Sean.
Nah, man. We're gonna all blow up. We gotta support.
right.
We're black. We're black. We're gonna all support. And
Wakanda forever.
And also, big shout outs to Dre Boykins from coming on the show, from R. Kelly and the public announcement. Speaking of R. Kelly, Dre Boykins for coming on the show, Beat Break Morning Show. So we really appreciate it. And stay tuned. We got more coming up right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. DJ Roland Mix, Sharia Thomas, Sharia's Law. All right, it's the Beat Break Morning Show. Snitches, we out.
The Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Roland, and the Wake Up Ladies. The only morning show where you can wake up next to more than just one woman.